Welcome to Undisputed Fight Talk. If you are watching this video on YouTube, you should see a big arrow on the screen. On the end of that arrow is a button. Hit that button, you'll subscribe to the channel, and that will keep you up to date with the latest and greatest in boxing news. In this video, I want to look at a fight from last night which has really put boxing in a bad light. Boxing in 2023, I thought we was doing well. We was having a really good year, but every time we seem to get to that point where we're having a good year, something kidney shots us and just brings boxing right back down into the gutter. I'm not talking about those two absolute whales on the Misfits cards. That is just something else. And I'm not talking about Tommy Fury having a push me, shove you moment with Idris Virgo. None of that bothers me. I leave the influencers to do their thing. I could not care less about influencer boxing. What I'm talking about damages the sport even more than that, in my opinion. I'm talking about what happened over in Las Vegas, where Ismael Barroso, in my opinion, is robbed of a world title. Absolutely robbed. Just look at this stoppage, and before I play it, before the copyright police jump all over me, I'm reviewing this footage, and it's being used under fair use policy. It's under the fair use rules. You might not like my review of the stoppage, but it is what it is. Let's have a look. What's crazy about that is not only the stoppage, obviously that's absolutely unforgivable, but in that exchange, it's Barroso who lands the cleanest shot. His second punch is a cleanest shot that lands in that exchange. Everything else is cuffing, glancing shots or pushing shots. Barroso's just been knocked down there in a position where I don't think it should have been ruled a knockdown. I thought that Romero had pushed Barroso with his final shot. He'd done a pushing. It was more of a pushing shot than a punch. But look at it again. How's he stepping in to end the fight here? It's beyond me. I can't believe that this is just down to poor refereeing. Tony Weeks, according to BoxRec, Tony Weeks is a veteran. He's officiated 860 fights. He's been in this sport for decades. He's been involved in some of the biggest fights in the sport. He refereed Badou Jack versus Marcus Brown. You might not remember that fight off the top of your head if you're not massively into boxing, but you've definitely seen the image where Badou Jack's head is completely ripped open. He's covered in blood. The referee's covered in blood. But he'd rather let Badou Jack bleed out than stop that fight. So if that's his level that he can go to without stopping a fight, what's his excuse here? He's absolutely no stranger to controversy though. He stopped Canelo versus Anguilla and many people question that stoppage. But there's absolutely no consistency. How can you let Badou Jack almost faint with blood loss, but then stop these fights when nothing's landing? In my opinion, and I have to stress, this is just my opinion, it's corruption. Barroso was winning that fight on all three judges' scorecards. Now you can't argue that Rowley was on the ascendancy, he was coming back into that fight, but that's not a reason to stop the fight. I've been watching this sport for nearly 3 decades, and I can hand on heart say that this is, at championship level certainly, the worst stoppage that I can remember. People are pulling strings in the background, in my opinion. There's too many powerful people, there's too much money at stake for people's fighters to be beaten, for fighters to fail at championship level. And I believe, and again it's just an opinion, but I think that there's more to this than just poor refereeing. What do you think? Do you think Tony Weeks was right to stop the fight? Social media have yet to see anybody say that he was right to stop this fight. Even the fighters themselves have mentioned that it was a bad stoppage. But do you think he was right to do it? Do you think it was a poor night in the office? I know Floyd Mayweather's come out and said he thought Weeks was it was a bad call, but there's nothing more to it than that. Or do you think we see this too often in boxing for it to be just poor refereeing, that there's something more sinister going on in the sport? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you next time.